This is a website, an amazing website, policeprostitutionandpolitics.com. I personally believe that the reason why Polaris Project had to retract the age of entry being, the average age of entry into prostitution being 12, because of the work of this person who put together this website. Because you just can't argue with data, solid data. You know, we can make stuff up, and that's what the abolitionists and the anti-prostitutionists do constantly. And of course, you know, working hand in hand, tandem with government agencies. But when you really start pulling the information together and quantifying it, then, you know, you start to see the reality of things. On this website, there is just so much information, lots of very valuable information for sex worker activists, you know, anyone who wants to study anything related to prison, you know, the criminal justice system. There's some amazing stuff here. But if you look over here, we have the Operation Cross Country, which, you know, just happened again annually, like it always does. And I just wanted to point out a couple of things here. And you can take a look, you know, at this yourself. There's, you know, a lot of information about Operation Cross Country on this website. But in the 4-year period from 2011 to 2014, it took 17,000 agents and police officers to arrest and rescue a total of 1,051 people. Let that sink in. 17,000 agents to arrest and rescue a total of 1,051 people. Now, it's very important to note that adult sex workers were categorized as pimps in some cities, and there may have been more arrests of adult sex workers than were noted in the press releases. But, you know, you take a look at these numbers here, and it's just, it really gets gross. Since its creation in 2003, the Innocence Lost program has resulted in the identification and recovery of approximately 3,600 minors who have been sexually exploited. This year marks the 8th Operation Cross Country, the largest such enforcement action to date. 168 trafficking victims were recovered, and 281 pimps were arrested, which this is between 2003 and 2014. So, you know, how can this be touted as a success when you have a lot of money going into this? You know, in 1 year, it was $67 million just for this one raid, annual raid. And 169 were recovered, and that's a success. Well, yeah, if you're talking about law enforcement job security. But anyway, I just want to point out this awesome site. There's a lot of information here. If you want to see, you know, the reality of the situation, this site is amazing. And I do believe that there's journalists who have come to this site and have taken information from this site. And, you know, they've written some amazing, you know, articles about the subjects that are here. But, you know, nobody's really given credit to Norma. And I think that credit is due, because some of the, you know, she has done this research and she's put it together. You know, who knows how many hours of work that she put into quantifying data from the Department of Justice and FBI, and, you know, put it in this format so that people could come here and see it for themselves. You know, I happen to believe the fact checker, the Washington Post fact checker has been here. You know, reporters and journalists rather from Reason and other outlets. This is an amazing site, and people have been able to use it. And I think also because of the work that Norma has done, it has pushed back against the anti-prostitution narratives. When you have Polaris this last year coming out and having to admit that the age of entry being 12 is not substantiated by any evidence-based data, I wholeheartedly believe that it was Norma's work regarding what the information at this website that made that happen. because you just can't argue with evidence when you bring it out and force people to look at it. So anyway, oh, and this is I'm sure Polaris visits this website quite a bit because there's a lot on here about Polaris. And then here, like 2012, Polaris Project calls compared to rapes, arrests, and prostitution arrests state by state. And that's another thing she's done, really revealed, put it out there, all the different arrests, the records regarding all sorts of different crimes and comparisons between that and what law enforcement is doing in terms of prostitution up against what they're doing in regards to very real crime that there doesn't seem to be anything being done about, such as the rapes, that are happening. But anyway, please check out this website if you haven't, policeprostitutionandpolitics.com, and, donate to the site too if you can. This woman has put an incredible amount of work into this, and she certainly didn't get paid for it. Thank you so much.